Hello guys, so in this video I'm going to break down the claim system we use for roofing companies and then how to set it up in Go High Level. Now this system makes sure that the right rep gets the lead, right? It means the available rep at the moment gets the lead, and then it also solves for the speed to lead ratio. To give you some context, Alex Hormozy talks about this, where he mentions that the 60-second rule, right? He mentions one of the business owners he works with, how they managed to get a 55% lead to close ratio by simply calling every lead who comes in within 60 seconds, right? So this is very important, and this claim system makes sure that you can solve for that as best as possible. So the available sales rep gets to claim the lead, and then they get to call the lead as fast or as soon as possible. So this helps you book more inspections and then get more close. Now, by the end of this video, you will learn how to set up a very clear system where the sales rep basically taps on one link and is able to claim a lead. So any other sales rep that comes in afterward cannot claim the same lead because the first sales rep already claimed, or the first rep has already claimed the lead, right? So this makes everything efficiently, and then you know who is assigned to which lead. Now I'm going to walk you through from when the lead comes in, right? The new lead intake workflow. So we mentioned this in one of our previous videos, the new lead intake workflow, and then how it feeds to the claim workflow, and then how it is assigned to the first rep to claim the lead. Okay, so let's get into the build. So now the lead claim buyer. So before that, I want to walk you through just let's just walk through what happens when a new lead comes in, right? So that if you've not watched the previous video, you can have an understanding of what I'm talking about. So when a new lead comes in, basically, so a contact is created, an opportunity is created, we get the source they come from, and then we add to a workflow, we add to the star scoring, and then we send an internal notification, right? So we send an internal notification that basically says a new roofing lead is in, try and claim your click this link to claim your lead right now. So let me show you what it looks like when the sales rep receives the link, right? Now here's what it looks like. So a new roofing lead is in, tap to claim. So name, this is the name of the lead. It will give you the job title. So you click this to claim the lead, right? So now when you click this to claim the lead, this is what happens. So this is what you see. So now let's get back over here. So now that's what you see. Now let's go back to the claim system so that I can explain more. So what happens after the sales rep taps claim lead is that when they claim the lead, right? When they claim the lead, what happens is that, so let's just give it a second to load, right? Right. So the trigger for this workflow is the form submitted there, right? Uh, the lead claim form, right? So I think let me just show you real quick what it looks like, right? So you can basically create this, right? This form, right? So this is how the web page looks like, right? But then the form, let's see what the form looks like. Yeah, this is what the form looks like, right? So you can create this form and then you attach it to this page, right? So this is the link that gets sent out to the sales rep, so they can basically click and then come to this page, and then they can claim the lead, right? So what happens? We find the contact. So now in this step, what we try to do is that we find the user, right? So even though inside, when you look at the previous workflow inside the notification, the link would solve for, I think let me just show you real quick before we go continue. So inside the previous workflow, come on now. Now, yeah, inside the previous workflow, like, right, what happens when let's get to the down part of this workflow. So inside this workflow, what happens is that when you look at this link right here, the contact ID we are using, right? The contact ID we are using is equal to this contact ID. So there's when you look at the link we sent, so let me just try and get to the link again. You can see that the contact ID, the system will pick up the contact ID, right? Now the rep email would be equal to this email, the user, right? So it assigns this lead, this contact ID to the user. I don't know if you understand this very well, but then you can watch some videos and then you can understand what I'm talking about in depth. So what happens is that this system, the system GHR gets the contact ID for the lead, and then the rep email, right? It's equal to the username that you then enter inside the claim portal, right? Basically the web page. So now we find it, right? So we find that um, the rep, and then we basically kind of just assign it to the rep again, right? But I think first we find the contact first, right? So we find, yes, so we find the contact, right? So we find the contact based on the contact ID, right? Now, if you find the contact, if the contact exists in GHR, so now uh, we we ask ourselves this question. Now, is the lead still awaiting the claim? Now, inside the previous video, or in one of the previous video, I mentioned when I went through the um, lead intake workflow, I think I'm going to do a video where I build it step by step with you guys so that you can appreciate it much better. But then inside the previous workflow, we talked about why we include these tags, right? So in this tag, awaiting claim, right? So in the previous workflow, you can see that we add a tag when the lead comes in awaiting claim. So now is the lead still awaiting claim? If yes, then we assign to user. If no, we send the an internal notification to the user, basically telling the user, sorry, this lead was already taken. So a lead is only claimed once, right? And then the sales rep gets. So when we assign it to the user email, we remove the tag, right? And then we add tag claim, right? So we assign to user. We basically just assign to user again, and then we find the opportunity. Now the opportunity, it should be a new lead in, right? Right. So in the sales pipeline, it should be a new lead in, and then we update the opportunity to contacted, right? Because at this point, the sales rep should contact the lead, right? So they should contact the lead at this point in time. Now, that's what happened. So we've gone through when the lead comes in, and then the new lead intake workflow, and then the claim, the claim workflow, right? So now I think that's what we are doing. So after that, we add a task, right? Basically trying to remind the user or the person who has claimed the lead to contact the lead, right? So that's basically what we do, right, in this claim system right here. Now, yeah, I think I need to explain this. So when you create this, when you create the form, right, you need to create a custom field. Now, how do you create a custom field? By just adding add and then choosing a single line, right? Using a single line and then using, so let's say I wanted to create a new contact ID where I can match it, right? Contact ID, right? And I'll choose which group I want it. So I think I want it to be in the contacts, right? Right. And then I want it to be in which group. So you can choose the group whether it should be in the contact general info, right? And then that's what you do. You save, right? So I'm not going to save here. Now what you do is you make sure that this is hidden, right? So this is hidden. You make sure that this is hidden. You will stick this, and then claimed by rep email. So you also make sure that this is hidden. Now, what happens is when you are creating this message right here to the, so this is a very important step. You need to make sure that it captures the lead. So I didn't understand this at first. So it took me some time before I could understand this, but it's very important. No, 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 not this workflow. Sorry, not this workflow. Let's read. Right, not this workflow. Let me go to the initial one, the intake workflow. Right. So now, by the way, if you would like us to set, or if you like to work with us, if you're a roofing company, right, and then you would like to work with us, right, you can. I'll leave a link to my Instagram in the description below, so you can contact me, and then we can take it from there. But for now, yeah. So as I said, it's very important that you get after you see this is a custom value, right? So the link to the portal should always be a custom value. So you should always have it as a custom value. Now, after the question mark, what comes? That's the contact ID. So this contact ID represents the custom field I mentioned here. You should create here, right? So this contact field you should create here. And then the rep email is equal to the user email. So it automatically assigns the user, right? It assigns the user to this. Um, the rep email it assigns to the user, right? So that's basically how you set this up. And then make sure you get this very right, because this can make or break the whole system, right? So you get this very right and then it will work very well. Now, I think let me talk about what happens. So once they claim the lead, it sends an internal notification telling all users that this particular user has claimed the lead. So no one has to try and claim the lead again. Also, yeah, it basically informs the user that the user has claimed the lead, and then um um it sends a message to the contact, right, or the lead that came in. So hi contact, this is username. So now the email or the SMS that's going to be sent out is going to be sent in the name of the user, referencing the company, right? So hi contact, this is username, right? The user that gets claimed from this company. Thanks for reaching out about it. This. So if you can remember, we also created this custom field in one of the previous videos we talked about. And I can stop by for your inspection today or tomorrow, which one works better for you. So we get them to reply to this email, the same thing, right? Right. So we can also add the inspection, the link or the calendar link to the sales rep over here as custom value, so they can get to click on it and then you know book an inspection. So that's basically what we do. So that's also very important. So when person claims the lead, you quickly send an email or a message to the lead, basically telling them that, oh, this is maybe John from Apex Roofing. Would I don't know, telling them that this is John from Apex Roofing. I'll reach out to you soon, and then they basically call them and then try to get them to book an inspection. So that's what happens, and then you solve for the speed to lead ratio, making sure that you convert a lot of your leads to closes. So in this video, we basically went over the lead the claim system. So when the lead comes in, the new lead intake workflow takes the lead and basically sends an internal notification to all the reps, and then the rep that is available at the moment claims the lead and then contacts the lead. And then after, an email or an SMS is sent to the lead, telling the lead that would contact them, and then the rep contacts them. Right. So this is how we set up the claim system for roofing companies. Now, if you're a roofing company, or you work with one and then you need help, right, or you want to work with us, I'm going to leave a link to my Instagram in the description below, so you can contact me. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and then see you in the next one.